Okay, so good morning. My name is Hugo Barros. I'm from the University of Algarve in the south of Portugal. I work in a division called CRIA, which is a Technology Transfer and Entrepreneurship division, which is interesting because we do kind of also the same thing. And so trying to work in innovative industrial parks and areas and connecting this with university and our activities, I'll be talking a little bit about some of the examples of research industry cooperation in green economy, because the output of this is mostly to work on the development of regional development, on new companies, on innovation. And so, just to framework it a little bit, because it's important to understand the kind of work that everyone does according with the territory. So, trying to understand the university, it's a relatively young university, about 30, 34 years old, with some main research areas, some of them very well connected with the value of the green sector. For example, tourism is a very important sector. So again, we have to be very clear and understand very well the value of the green sector in order in order to be able to value that tourism. So also, what does this mean? What is this connection between university and companies? It's this triple helix, the conversation and then the interaction between universities, because supposedly that's where the main value of knowledge is, between the companies, the enterprises, because that's who will take the product back to the market, that who will make the transformation into commercial value, and with government, because they are the ones responsible for public policies, for funding. And so it's important to intermediate all of these stakeholders. So as a starting point, understanding the university and the territory, we have to understand that no matter the criticisms of each part and no matter always the limitations that everyone says they have, the fact is that university has access to highly qualified human resources, new knowledge, new ideas, no matter how peripheral we might be, and we are a little bit. Also, we understand that industry needs innovation to become more competitive. This kind of like the project says, innovative industrial parks need to create their knowledge, to communicate, to develop those knowledge. And so what we try to do is work a little bit on this blending area, proof of concept and product, that afterwards will go to the market. And so it's necessary to input some knowledge, mainly from the universities, but again, from all parts. Identification of specific needs from industry, legal framework, funding. So we need to understand exactly what we want to work from, what are the inputs that we start on. And then we have to understand very well in this connection what kind of outputs do we want in order to be very pragmatic in our goals and in order to be able to adapt that work. And so the expected outcomes are new commercial opportunities, license agreements, future opportunities, in the sense that, like a colleague of ours from Italy said today, in order to work that trust, that is not only with this cooperation but the future cooperation that might come. And so I'll just have 5 very brief examples in order to see and demonstrate that this is possible and this is being transferred to the market among this cooperation from the public sector, from the universities, and from the companies. So this is one project where the university cooperated with a business association from producers of agro-food in order to transform second generation bioethanol production from carob industry, which is very important in the Algarve. And so we were able to, between this cooperation, to define a viability study for a biorefinery that it's now being proposed for one of the industrial parts. So this is important because it connects the inputs of the region, their materials, with the final market. Another one is working on electricity and renewable energy. So spendings on energy are very much important, and we have to understand how to integrate the internet and other stuff in order to other knowledges in order to be able to be more efficient. Also working on another sector, and this is why I mentioned the region, because in terms of the region, tourism and golf is very important. So another cooperation between the university, the knowledge of the university, and one of the main sectors economically. Another one on carob. So as you can see, there's a lot of another one on cork. So there's a lot of information coming from the knowledge of the companies. Two final slides. This we have to also understand the impacts of the on the academy and the impacts on industry. And this is what we have to be aware when we work on these things. So thank you very much.